Hello, this is Coach Colleen with Teentastic Families. And today we're talking about dads. Dads, this is your time to shine when your kids are teenagers. And you may not feel like it, but I believe, and I'm a woman, I'm a mom, but I believe that in the teen years, the dad is the most important parent. Maybe that has to do with my own experience. My mom died when I was 12, but my dad kept us steady and we did not go astray, but he was there and he was a very important parent. And the kids are younger, the moms look after the babies and the little ones. Remember my husband just waiting for the child to grow up so they could actually do something with this kid. And so dads, I hear your frustration. When they're little, it's just hard to know how to relate to them and they're too little to do stuff with. So this is your time. And even just being there in your house, you don't have to be super dad, okay? You can do a lot of things from the couch. Although participation is hugely valuable, but there's a lot of stuff you can do just by being in the house. You don't have to be super smart. My own dad, when he was actually in his mother's womb, my grandma, his mom got kicked by a cow in the stomach when she was carrying my dad, and he actually had brain damage. They found out later, MRI, where there was actually a black hole in his brain where his brain should have been. And so it was an old injury, and they were amazed that he could actually do as much as he did with that much missing. And my dad was never the sharpest knife in the drawer. My sister and I could pull a lot of things over the wool over his eyes if we wanted to. But he was a kind and gentle man, and we loved him for that and for the wisdom that he did carry. So you don't have to be super smart. Just love your kids. Tell them I love you. And so we're just going to walk through a couple of things. So number one, yes, say I love you, but be there. Be in the house, which I already said. But also too, when I do ask you something, not every 5 minutes or something. Personally, teens don't usually do that anyways, unless they're really a vocal teen. But don't be on your phone. Like, set down your phone, look at them and say, what do you need? What do you want? And I think that's a good rule for all parents. I see a lot of parents with their kids. I also work in an urgent care, and parents just letting their little kids run around and they're on their phone all the time. And parents, we need to give our kids, little kids and teens, attention. And so don't always be on your phone when they're talking to you. You can even say, if you're in the middle of something, just a sec, finish what you're doing, because they need to be able to respect what you're doing too, and your time and your attention. And then when you're done that, give your focus to your teen and or your child, and so give them the attention that they need. Also too, the next one is defend mom. So to start with, rules in your house. You should be sitting down with mom. You and mom need to come to an agreement as far as what rules are going to be enforced in your house. What's really important. You might want to narrow it down to the top 5 or 7 rules that are important to you as a couple, as a team, and you enforce them. If a teen comes to you and says, hey dad, can I do this? Ask them, have you already asked mom? Because they will play you. I mean, little kids will play you, against each other. And well, mom said this, and she may not have said that. And if it seems a little fishy because you've already agreed as to how you're going to handle stuff, different decisions, that if it seems a little off, it probably is off. So you need to communicate with mom as to what was already said and things like that. So, but also a very important thing that needs to happen in the relationship with your teens and your spouse is when your teenage, let's say your teenage son, mouths off mom, your wife, and talks rudely to her, you need to defend mom, okay? And not just say, you will not speak to your mother like that. That's great, but I had heard a message once at church, I believe, and they made a very good point, and my husband has done this, is you will not speak to my wife like that. And it gives a different twist on it, that no, yes, she's your mother, but she's first my wife, and it's my job to protect her, and we are a team, so don't you dare talk to my wife like that. And so it sends a different message. And so defend mom against verbal abuse, and it sets you as the authoritative one. Moms, don't get your knickers in a knot here. We need help. And for whatever reason, teens listen to dad better. I understand if you don't have a man in the house, there is no dad, and we'll get to that. But for those who do have dad in the house, dads, you need to step into that place. Be firm with the rules. Dad, you need to be like a tree. The top, can blow with the wind, but the roots are in the ground, and you are steady. There are certain things you are not moving on. First of all, one is the safety of your teen. They need to let you know who they're with, where they're going. Have I met this kid before? And so dads, don't be afraid of asking questions, because it shows that you care. They'll gripe and complain and just like, Dad, don't you trust me? Yeah, I trust you. I just don't trust everybody else out there. And there's situations that happen in people's homes that you have no control over. And if you have not listened to my video yet about putting a safety measure in place for if your teen does go to a house that all of a sudden becomes unsafe, that you have a code in place that they can call you. But you can catch that video. I just posted it a week ago in November of 2022, I believe, or December 2nd. Don't know when that came out. Anyway, yes, so make sure you know where they're going. Ask them questions. It shows you care. And practice what you preach. So if you're saying something, don't do this, don't do that, you need to make sure that you're doing that too. Some people say, don't lie to me, and yet they lie. In fact, I just had a conversation with a parent that was very concerning, because they actually had seen this in a friend's house where, they were telling their teen, don't lie to me, and yet she had just lied, and she may not even have realized it. So we all need to be on top of that, right? Also, to dads and moms, we need to say sorry when it's appropriate. If you screwed up, you forgot something, say, I'm sorry. You can give the reason why, but the most important thing is to say you're sorry. They need to know you're human. I never ever said that I have eyes in the back of my head, and some parents really love to say that and use that one, but I don't. I think it would make me a freak to have eyes in the back of my head, and I don't need to put that pressure on myself to know it all and be it all. I just reminded them that, God's with them wherever they go. God sees you, whatever you're doing. And so that actually worked much better for me than to put that responsibility on myself. So dads, like I said, you can do a lot of stuff without leaving your couch, just talking to them, being available. I know some parents are ill and they cannot physically do things with their teens, and it is possible to discipline and to be a good dad without doing stuff with them. But if you can, it is a great idea if they need a ride, go places, and here's your great chance to meet the friends they're going to meet, right? If you're saying, I don't know these people, go there. If they're meeting their friends that are in front of the mall over there, get out of your vehicle, go to them and just say, hi, I'm Bobby's dad, and look them in the eye, let them know that you see them, and you can communicate a lot in a handshake and in a look, and just meet each one of the kids there, say hi, and you don't have to shake their hand. It's whatever's up to you. A lot of people fist pump, or just, you don't have to do anything, but make a point, look them each in their eye, and there's a communication that happens that dads, you can communicate a lot. So drive them places. That's a great chance to talk, to ask them questions. Hey, I heard you haven't talked about your friend so and so in a while. Do you still hang with them, or what's the deal? And just make chit chat. They might even it's in those moments that sometimes the most important conversations happen, because it's non-threatening, it's casual, you're on the way to the mall, it's not going to take that long, and if there's a subject that comes up, you can bring it up later when it's in a more appropriate time, but it's a great way to talk. And I have other videos that talk about conversing with your teen, but that is one of the great times to do that. Also, too, dads, usually when teens learn to drive, this falls to you. I know my husband always used to take our teens when they learned to drive, and took them out in the back roads in the country and got them to dodge all the potholes. And it got a great way to get the feel of the vehicle and stuff. But that fell to him. I don't know why dads seem to get that job, but it's a good one. It's a good way to spend time and have a good chuckle. Maybe your nerves will be a little bit worn by the time you get home, but it's a great way to spend time with your kids. Yeah, and so as we're coming to a close, dads, again, just let them know you love them. If they do something wrong, just say, I don't agree with this. This is wrong, and this is your punishment, but I still love you. It affects who they are. By doing something wrong, it doesn't mean you're a bad person. You did something bad. You don't want to speak to their destiny. And again, I have another video on that. But speak to what they did wrong, but let them know that you love them. All right. If there is no dad in the house, moms, you can, like in a youth group at church, usually there's a male figure there, that the teens can be with. If a mentor or father figure that you have, it could be an uncle, you want to make sure they're not left necessarily alone, especially if it's a girl. Excuse me, because you hear of so much abuse going on. Make it in a group setting. Like, that's why I mentioned youth group is a great place for because usually one of the youth leaders is a male, and they just have such a great heart. If they're involved in youth group, they have a heart for kids and they care, and a lot of times they speak into the kids' lives, into the teens, and they can do a lot just for your teen if they have no dad at home. So parents, have heart. Kids, teens will make mistakes, but the best we can do is be there for them, be that rock, and be patient and stay calm. Whatever they tell you, don't freak out. Just, if you need a few minutes, walk away. Just say, I'll be back in a few minutes. You can even say, I love you, but give me a minute to regroup or something. And kids are smart, but they cannot read your mind. Let them know what you're thinking. Reassure them. Teens need to be assured every step of the way. And if you want a list of great things to tell your kids, encouraging words, I wasn't planning on doing this, but I can email it to you. Good job, way to go. You know, it's like a list of 100 of things, encouraging words you can tell your teen, and that just helps you out. So dads, take heart. This is your time to shine, and you can do it. All right, that's it for today. If you don't want to miss any videos, hit the subscribe button below and the notification button beside it, and that will alert you to any new videos that come out that I produce, which is weekly. And so you don't want to miss them. If you want more than just the videos, I do offer a couple 90-day coaching programs that helps parents parent their teens. It can be from having timid teens, or if you're first starting and your kids are preteens, it's a great program. I took training before my kids ever became a teenager, and it was the best thing I ever did. And it helped me when situations came along. I'm like, oh, I already know what to do. That's huge. That's huge. And so give me a shout. You can contact me by email is one of the best ways. teentasticfamilies@gmail.com. That's teentastic, TEEN-tastic, TASTIC, families@gmail.com. Let me know. I'm interested in one of your programs, or you just ask me a question. I offer free 45-minute strategy sessions. So we would do that to start off with. So if you're interested in a free session that we can talk about your situation, see if anything's appropriate for you, email me, or I'm on Facebook, Teentastic Families, or you can look me up, Colleen Fair. And yeah, we'll connect and see what we can do. But for now, subscribe. Subscribe, share this video with whoever you think might benefit from it, and we'll see you next time.